Yes, people. Yes, welcome back to another live phone and welcome back to another match reaction. Sadly, not after another W. We've broken down Atletico Madrid, we've broken down Liverpool, we've broken down Everton, and it's Bielsa that we struggled with. Marcelo Bielsa out of all of them, which is jarring, but it's also just Chelsea. Like, that's literally just typical Chelsea for you guys. I'll give Edouard Mendy his props because he was by far and away our man of the match. A couple of very crucial saves to keep the score level for us. Some of them, like the one where he was on the floor and he managed to turn himself mid-shot, it was ridiculous quality from him. I thought individually as well, our midfield was solid, but we still definitely missed the Kante and the Jovicic pivot today because there would have been a lot more fluid passing. There would have been a lot more forward passes. I feel we still would have retained possession well because we did retain possession solidly well in this match, but we played more as individuals in midfield. And it always happens when N'Golo Kante plays, and it's becoming a bit of a catch-22 because Kante is always going to be the one that can break up play more than anybody else. But in order to break up play, you have to sacrifice a bit of possession to do that first, which is why I prefer the Jorginho Kovacic pivot because we are just a lot smarter on the ball. We retain possession a lot better and we do more of the ball better as well. But that's nothing to take away from Kante's performance because I think individually he had an excellent performance. Defensively, I thought we were solid as well, but defensively we've been solid since Tuchel joined. It was just the same old in the final third where we didn't make the most of the chances that came ahead of us. Kai Havertz, I thought, had an excellent game, but he did miss a few chances in the game, and we would have slated that if that was a Timo Werner, if that was a Mason Mount. So the credit has to go where it's due to all of the players. And I think as a team, we were all stifled in the final third. We're all a bit lethargic. So I don't want to scapegoat anybody. But same way, it's just the same problems rearing its ugly head again. But we are going to discuss it in the phone in. If you guys want to get involved and have your say, the link is down in the description below. And while you're in the description below as well, check out the very reliable OneFootball app, the most reliable app for all of your footballing news regarding any team in the top 5 leagues or in Europe in general. Check it out for the live match review for the Chelsea versus Leeds game as well. And check out the live reaction video and the transfer indicator app for all your most reliable transfer news. The link is down in the description below. Check it out. And we're going to get our first guest in now. Yes, bro, what are you saying?
I'm all good, man. How you doing this?
I'm good. 12:30 kickoff for that. Doesn't leave you in the best of moods. But, hey, it's another game where we haven't lost. So I'm going to take the small positives in this one.
Yeah, that's the thing. We've got to take the small positives because it's all been positive up to this point. I did have a feeling before this game that we could drop points, but I thought it was going to be more of a 1-1 draw. It's ironic that the last game that we were allowed back in the stadium was Leeds at home. And this is the kind of game that needed those fans in the stadium. I'm not saying it was a boring game, but with the Chelsea-Leeds rivalry, it really would have added something to this game. I think we'd see more goals if there was fans in the stadium. Like you touched on, I think I've been a big critic of Kovacic recently, but that midfield of Kovacic and Jorginho, it works. And although Kante had a good individual game, I don't think it contributed to the team kind of clicking overall. There was a lot of like breakdown. I think the pitch didn't help either. I think you don't want to ever blame it on the pitch, but it didn't help the game in terms of the passing football. We've seen in the last few games, we've dominated teams. We've kind of sucked the life out of teams. We've passed them to death and then taken our chances or tried to take our chances. But in this game, it wasn't really clicking. Passes were going awry. Like the ball was kind of bouncing up. It just wasn't clicking. And from early on, you could kind of tell that this was going to be one of those days where you take the point and you move on. Overall, getting the point away at Leeds, who are a very, very dangerous team, is nothing to be sniffed at.
Exactly that. And at the very least, we'll take the positives that the defence was solid. But that's the defence in general. And that's the way we set up too. We always set up defensively minded first and then look to push forward. But the final third, I want to ask you your thoughts on the play there because we are just seeing the same consistent problems that we just don't gobble up our chances when they're there.
Yeah, well, it's interesting because after the game, Tuchel was asked about Kai Havertz again, and he said that he believes he's the number 9, not even more so a false 9, he's the number 9, like we saw him play for Leverkusen at the back end of last season, which may be a little bit concerning because I feel like Kai Havertz in the free role where he's maybe in a false 9 or number 10 position is an incredible player that can bring a lot to our team. But if he's going to be the man that we rely on for goals, then that's going to be problematic. And like you say, if it was Timo Werner missing those chances, we'd be absolutely slating him. So the same energy has to be kept for Kai Havertz. Even though he did play well, he did have a good game, he should have taken some of those chances, man, especially the one in the second half where I don't know what Calvin Phillips is doing, but he kind of dropped off of him. Kai Havertz had space and he just hit it straight at the keeper. I was expecting a bit more of a deft finish, a bit more of a cultured finish for a player that has got that quality. So it was a frustrating game overall, man. It was interesting to see as well at the beginning of the game, where it was a back four, back three. It was kind of fluid throughout. But there was just nothing to really report. It was one of those games where nothing was really clicking in the final third. And credit to Mendy, he kept us in it with a couple of really, really good saves, man. He was on point. I think he's got to the point now where people start to recognize it with Mendy. He's got the clean sheets like on lock. He's got 19 clean sheets in 31 games. But today was like the first game where he's had to make a couple of crucial saves, and he did his job well.
Yeah, I've always been waiting to see those big moments from Mendy because they come very few and far between with the way that we play. By far and away the man of the match, because he's the only one that kept us in the game. We would have lost that game by a good few goals if there was any other goalkeeper in the back of the net. I want to ask your thoughts on the left wing-back situation as well, because Chilwell didn't have the most promising of games. Yeah. The other option is Marcos Alonso, who same way I don't really have a lot of confidence for, but when Chilwell is playing games like this, I can't really promote pushing Ben Chilwell over him. What are your thoughts on the left wing-back position, and who do you want to see play against Atletico?
It's difficult. I feel like Ben Chilwell hasn't really settled in that position, and he's not a natural left wing back. Whereas that's the position that Alonso was made for. Like he's perfect at that position, and we saw him play really well against Everton. So I think against Atletico Madrid, we're going to have to go with Marcos Alonso. I feel like in that game we're going to have to go with experience. So I think we might see Giroud come back in. We'll see a few of the experienced heads come back in just to kind of see that through. Because like you say, we were kind of like null and void down the left-hand side, which is normally a dangerous side when Alonso plays, which is crazy for me to say because I've always been someone not advocating for Alonso to be out, but I've never been his biggest fan. But you can really see that when he plays in the left wing back position, it gives us another dimension down that side, especially when things aren't working on the right-hand side.
Okay, and with that in mind, do you feel the same thing for Reece James too? Because he's also had to acclimatise to a right wing-back position. But I've seen him play good games in that position as well, so I can be a bit positive about it. But same way, he hasn't acclimatised as quickly under Thomas Tuchel.
So with that, for Atletico especially, I feel like we do go with Reece James in that because we've got something to defend. I understand if we were going to we were trying to get a goal or get a couple of goals, then it'd be interesting to see Callum on the right-hand side, or like we saw today, Pulisic, who had a good first half. But I feel like with Atletico, with their threats and with them coming to play on the front foot and try and get that goal early, I feel like putting Reece James on the right-hand side as a right wing back and then have Azpilicueta playing the right side of the back three just gives us that bit of solidity that we might miss if it's someone like Callum on that side. So I know Reece James hasn't had his best season. We're all expecting like a breakout season for Reece James, but he's solid going forward and defending. So I definitely think start Reece James against Atletico there.
All right, and as a final question, I want to talk about the next few games with you as well, because we were all worried about our tough run of fixtures. We're now nearly through with that. Atletico's the final game through that, and we're still unbeaten. Now we have a very winnable run of the next 5 or 6 games. And what are your thoughts about where Chelsea could end up towards the end of the season?
I feel like we're definitely going to finish in top 4. Obviously, this kind of result has dampened it a little bit because we were the early kickoff and everybody's watching. It would have been lovely to get a result and actually put us. I think that would have put us 3rd. But alas, it happens. We've had an incredible run. We can't really complain. But I'm very, very confident that come the end of the season, we're going to be in the top 4. We just have to make sure that we do what we need to do in these winnable games. So we need to make sure that we beat West Brom at home. We need to make sure we get these results on the board. So when we play West Ham, I think it's like April 24th, we are solid, because that's going to be, if we don't do what we're supposed to do in the next few games, that could be a big 6-pointer, and we don't want that to happen. So by April 24th, I want us to be in the top 4 solid without any kind of questions asked. So I am still confident. Obviously today was a bit of a downer, but we look up and we move on to Atletico, and fingers crossed we're in the quarterfinals of the Champions League come Wednesday evening.
All right, well, Kweku, again, thank you for jumping on, man. It's great chatting to you. Hopefully you'll see you in a better position after the Atletico game.
Fingers crossed, man. Nice talking to you, Lewis. Take care.
Take care, bro. Bless. Right, again, if you lot want to get involved, the Patreon is down in the description below. Check it out. And while you're there, check out the very reliable OneFootball app as well. We're going to get our next guest on. Fata, bro, what are you saying?
Yeah, I'm good. Now I know why you're always hating 12:30 p.m. kickoff, man.
Trust me, man. They feel like shit.
You know what? You haven't won in 12:30 p.m. kickoff. I can see why you hate it a lot, though. Yeah, man. To this game, there was some questions coming to mind in terms of the lineup. why he put Pulisic as a right wing back and Hakim Ziyech to start as well. Number one, I can understand it. The fact that maybe he trying to play games with the media because the media has been onto him about the future of Pulisic and Ziyech. I can understand. I can understand that, but at the same time, you got question the work ethic of Hakim Ziyech. Did you see what happened today when he came off? That was
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go like hard on him, but that was like lethargic for him. Even though you had a poor game, you don't need to be pissed over when you come off. Like when something's not working, then you have to oblige what the manager told you though. The second thing is that I've been calling out by a lot of many people. Oh, please don't start Timo Werner. Please don't start Timo Werner. Timo Werner has been shit. Now what happened? Like the difference between this game and Everton game. Yeah, what happened? Timo Werner likes to cut in behind, likes to create some space in the box. That was against a low block Everton. But against Leeds, we all know how Leeds playing the high line, the way that they press. They credits to them, by the way. They play really well. But again, man, we should have killed this game. And I just think again, I don't know about you, Lewis, but I just think we're missing some pace from Timo Werner. Lewis cutting off, honestly. Yo, Lewis, you're cutting off, bro. What the heck? Whoops. Whoops.
Yo guys. Sorry, my internet. I don't know what's happened to this laptop. Fanta, what are you saying, man? Sorry, I don't know
Yeah.
what the hell's happened to my laptop today. I'm genuinely.
No,
fuming
I was
about
just
it.
saying that we missed the pace of Timo Werner, Lewis. Not gonna lie. As much as that people like, I got people like called out by so many people. Don't start Timo Werner, Fanta. Don't start Timo Werner. You can see today, like we need Timo Werner's pace on top, just to running behind him. I don't know about you, but we missed it.
I don't even think it was that though. I feel like it was our entire attack in general. Like the play was just stifled, and half the reason for that is because Jorginho and Kovacic weren't on the pitch.
Do you reckon like they're a bit slow in terms of moving the ball forward though? I would say so though, to be fair.
No, because Kante and Jorginho both had good individual performances, and it's not to say anything about either of them. It's just as a midfield, Jorginho and Kovacic are a lot more fluid together. They're a lot more understanding, and I feel like as a midfield too, it's a lot more heavily reliant on that sort of play. You have to be very consistent with each other, and that's the problem. They haven't got that sort of chemistry with each other. Jorginho and Kovacic are too fluid.
Yeah, you do have to look on it that the team chemistry today, as you said, not fluid. I wouldn't say not fluid, but they look like disjointed. I would say maybe it's because like they don't play like this type of game before, and in like previously, because I just think again, I feel like this game's going to be Werner at some point, but I don't know, man. It feels like I don't want to get into the mentality point of view, but I just think again, we don't know what Tuchel's best front three, I would say.
Yeah, we don't know Tuchel's best front three. The only thing I know is that Kai Havertz has to be in there. It's just Havertz also needs to gobble up these chances when they're coming too. We don't do them enough times.
Do you know what the most jarring thing is? Yeah, if we could have won this game, and then we win the next two games, imagine what happened after the Sheffield United. We go on a nice international break in 2 weeks, having a nice, time off without football and that, and it's just really annoying that this kind of game, like you drop 2 points. What could have been at the end of the season? Is it going to cost us in the top 4 race? We don't know. What I do know is the fact that, and I think in April we go up again. It's an easy run of fixtures, I would say, up until the West Ham United game. But I just think again, man, we got to sort this front three out. Defensively, I thought today we look all right. I thought your Christensen looked okay at times, but it's just that the front three is really infuriating me a lot, Lewis.
Yeah, but that's been the same for us for ages. Like our front three's always been a bit pants.
Do you think that they tried to, the likes of Havertz and that? I would say Havertz is like okay game. Do you think that Havertz will link up more with Werner? Because if you look at the difference between this game and Everton game, they both link up really well with Hudson-Odoi.
Yeah, but the difference was in that game, it was Timo Werner missing those big chances. Now it was Kai Havertz that missed a big chance. You see where the big problem is? We're always going to have players that miss chances.
True, that's true, man, honestly.
Yeah. What are your thoughts in terms of the defending then, and the wing backs too? Because a lot of the big questions are about how Reece James and Chilwell are acclimatized into those positions.
Not gonna lie, I just think again, I said this a couple of weeks ago. Ben Chilwell is not a natural left wing back. He's a natural left back. Tuchel cannot put him as a left wing back. I do have to criticize Tuchel for that, because first time game he came in against Wolves. Look what happened when Ben Chilwell played as a left wing back. Oh whoops, he looks so lethargic. He still struggling with adaptation and that. Reece, I thought that Pulisic as a right wing back was a bit, in question at times, but I can see why he trying to play Pulisic, because it's just the media again, the media PR just getting onto him about Pulisic's future and that, whether he's going to stay this football club and that. It's just one of those mad things with the media that keep going on Tuchel about Pulisic and that. But it is what it is, man. It's just frustrating,
I hear that. Final thoughts. What are your thoughts going into the Atletico game, and what team would you like to see come out?
Low key, I would prefer to put Giroud on. Giroud on, maybe give a bit experience though, and a little bit of physicality. And I would because Mount is suspended, I would put Havertz and Werner as well. And would you put Pulisic? I'm not too sure from this game. Hakim Ziyech definitely going to be dropped out. But apart from that, the back four, we don't know. Also, the back four, the back three, we don't know how long Thiago Silva is going to be out. Is he going to be out for Atletico as well? I'm not too sure. It looks like he is. But I just think, again, we need to change the front three, man. But for me, I would prefer to see Giroud start up front ahead of Hakim Ziyech.
All right, cool. Well, what's your score prediction going to be then?
If we play like this game against Atletico, we're gonna get smashed in the first half. Honestly, not gonna lie, they're gonna have like lots of ringers back for that game. Honestly, yes, Jimenez might be back, Suarez might be back, and Felix and that. If we play like this against Atletico Madrid, that's out of Europe. See you, bye.
I hear that, bro. Well.
And last words, good luck to the ladies' game tomorrow. They got Bristol City in the final cup game, so fingers crossed. We'll see tomorrow.
No, we will see, man. Fata, thank you for jumping on, bro. Sorry about the technical difficulties.
No, that's all right.
You take care, man. Have a good night. Bless. again, guys, if you want to get involved, join the link down in the description below and check out the OneFootball app as well while you're there. Yes, Craigo, what are you saying, bro?
Talk to me. What's going on?
Not much to talk about, really. Just a drab 0-0, but we're out here. Absolute shambles start to finish. But, well, I won't say shambles start to finish. I think defensively we were good. It was just the final third.
Yeah, I mean, we invited pressure onto ourselves. We've been playing out from the back, which has been a problem for us for a while against pressure with high-pressing teams. That's exactly what Leeds are. We struggled with it again today. We invited pressure onto ourselves. It worked to Leeds' hands perfectly. They just needed to see this game into a position where they could have potentially nicked 3 points, which they got into. I can't remember the stats off the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure at halftime we'd had 4 attempts in total. Then they had 2, with both of them being on target, which is a bit nuts if you ask me. So I think, I mean, the playing the way that we do, I'm all for it, but we have to be putting the ball in the back of the net, and we aren't. And it's not, you know, we do it once, we do it twice. Okay, it's all right, but at some point you've got to go and really whack a team. You really have to go and put someone to the sword. And it was never going to be Leeds today. Of course, it was never going to be Leeds today. But we haven't shown that we've got this really big goal scoring threat in previous games. So Leeds went, oh, perfect. Well, we'll just limit the amount of chances that they have, which, to be fair, they did actually, and it just played perfectly into their hands. And let's not take away from Leeds, actually, to be fair, right? It was a very good performance from them, and they are a much better side than sitting in 11th. They are a better side than that in terms of the way that they play and the way that their kind of system and their shape works. Quality of certain individuals probably could be a little bit better. That's how they end up being higher up the table. But in terms of how they play, it's actually a really nice style, and it makes life hard for teams like us. But if you want to go and be champions next year, and you think that this squad is the one that's going to be able to go and do it, we have to be going and beating Leeds. I'm sorry, we have to be going and beating Leeds. We've now got 9 games to the end of the season, I think. 9? Does that sound about right?
So. Yeah, they're all going by really quickly now.
Yeah, 9 games to the end of the season, and we've got to play, I'll get it in the wrong order. It's Palace, Fulham, West Ham, West Brom, and Brighton, I think, are our next run of games. And then we come into a really tough end of the fixture list, something along those lines. We have to, I'm sorry, in all of these games, we have to pick up 3 points. It is that concrete. We have to pick up 3 points. Because if we're going into the final games of the season, relying on 3 wins out of 4 against Leicester, Man City, Arsenal, and Villa, I think it's the other one I didn't say, then we've got a problem.
The last 4 games is a bit of a madness.
Yeah, and it is. And playing the way that we did today, we ain't going to get into that position. I said it to you. We want to get this wrapped up before the final game of the season. We want to get it wrapped up before then. Depending on what obviously Arsenal are doing, they're going to be looking to try and push for a little Europa League spot at the end of the season. I think that's very possible for them. I do. So you can't rely on that game to be going and getting 3 points against them, because they're going to pull out all the stops and try their absolute hardest, and knowing them, probably nick a result somehow. Leicester, again, same thing. Could be trying to nick in top 4. Massive game that is. I think second to last fixture. Last home game, I'm pretty sure. Man City probably would have already wrapped up the league, but doubt they're going to take their foot off the gas. It really is so fine how close this is. And as much as people are going, oh, well, I suppose it could have been worse. A point does nothing for us today. It really does nothing. When you come down to the final stage of the season, we'll be looking back at that and thinking, are we going to potentially win it by a point or stay in it by a point? Maybe. But is it going to be this point is the one that does it? More likely to be the one at West Brom, where we came from 3-0 down and saved that point. But this, we should be getting 3 points in it. We should. And that's no discredit to them. That's just, if we're serious about this team and the standards we're setting, we should be getting 3 points from this game. I looked at it and thought it was slow and lethargic at many times. Again, trying to play out from the back, trying to overcomplicate it. We don't need to do that shit. We don't need to do it. So why are we doing it? It baffles me, honestly. Chilwell, he's getting a lot of criticism. I criticised him in my review. Maybe I'm a little bit harsh on him, but I think it's because we all know what he can be and what he can achieve, and we want to see a little bit more of that. But Hakim Ziyech, again, for the 6th or 7th game I've seen him, it's in his most recent fixtures, does not show up again. He doesn't do anything. This wand of a left foot we all, crave and bang on about. And fair enough, it's a good thing to have. He only used it once today. So why was it justifying him to be starting and staying on the pitch for 70-odd minutes or something stupid like that until we had a sub? It doesn't make a lot of sense. I'm not going to blame Tuchel for it. I might blame Tuchel for the team selection. But same thing, regardless of who the manager is, certain players need to pull their finger out their ass. And two of them, Chilwell and Ziyech, again, were at fault today. Didn't necessarily have Pulisic at wing back. Made some sort of sense. I can understand why we did it. But it didn't wow me. Didn't make me think, oh, fuck, here we go. And I think a lot of people, to be fair, are looking at one position and saying it's up front. We need to get a centre forward. We need to get a centre forward. We need to get a centre forward. And then obviously Kai Havertz plays the false 9 against Everton, works quite well. Kai Havertz had a decent game today. But it's still a work in progress, that. And it was a kind of shock factor that it was like, oh, okay, Christ. Kai Havertz is playing as a false 9. How do we deal with that? Well, now, Leeds would have watched that game 5 days ago or whenever it was, 4 days ago, whenever it was. They'd have watched that. They'd have seen it. They'd have gone, oh, okay, right, he's going to play in here. He's going to operate in these areas. He's going to do this. This is how you deal with it. The initial shock factor of Kai Havertz against Everton was like, oh, fuck, okay, right, now what we're going to do. And it works in our favour, of course, but you can only do that once or twice. You can only do that once or twice. And we can't really do it again now with Kai Havertz in that false 9 thing, where he's never going to have that same shock factor. He can still work, and he can still work on it and progress. But, I mean, I think it was in your review I popped in my head in very briefly. I can't remember who said it, but someone said that we've scored something like 12 goals from set pieces or from penalties or for something like that in the last, or what was it? I think it was 15 goals in the last 12 games we've scored, and only like 4 or 5 of them have been from open play. Something like that. Someone said something
along the lines of that.
Yeah, I can't remember who it was and exactly what the number was, but we rely so heavily. And again, the Southampton game is very similar to this one today. We went behind in that game and we clawed our way back in with it from a penalty. We won the penalty. If you're relying on every week winning the penalty, really? Really? Like Bruno Fernandes, Man United, they win penalties every week. They tuck them away. Fine. But what people do seem to fail to forget is that Man United will also score 3, normally, or put 2 past a keeper normally, and then the third one's just a kind of icing on the cake thing. But we ain't scoring goals. And no, I don't think anyone looks at us at the moment and think, oh, yeah, Chelsea are really going to go and score goals, and it's going to be, a little bit of a madness. But I just, honestly, I want to praise certain people. I want to, but Christensen, again, he had a massive clanger, and we almost paid for that really early doors. I can't find a lot of positives. The only main positive I can find out of this game, and I hate to be the critical one here, but Edouard Mendy just had an absolute belter of a game, and he pulled up save after save after save, which is great. I love that. I absolutely love it. But at the same time, it's really good to see him making these stops. But actually, he shouldn't be in a position to have to make these stops, because they pressed and pressed and pressed. They won the ball back nice and high. And they, as a team, did their job collectively. And I still look at us and think we had a collection of players that weren't necessarily playing as a team. It will take time. Again, there was a few changes. I know we've got the Atletico game. But they were spot on from the word go. And their keeper, who did have a few saves to make, but they were pretty routine saves, really. Mendy had to pull us out of the bag, save us twice. I don't know what the word is I'm looking for. He had to pull fucking magical saves out of the bag twice. Yeah, the one from Azpilicueta got turned, I don't remember who hit it, and then the one obviously that he tipped off the bar. But if you can't rely on that every single week, because he can't do that. Czech did it for a whole season because we conceded 15 goals or whatever it was, in a single season. And on the few occasions they got through, he dealt with it. That's what I want to see Edouard Mendy do. And to be fair, in the last few weeks, he's done that. But people will look at this Leeds game now and think, perfect. Well, this is how Leeds caused Chelsea a hell of a lot of problems. Watch it and start doing very similar things against us. Same thing that happened at Everton when we went on the bad spell. Everyone looked at it and went, well, they went 1-0 up and they're part of the bus, and Chelsea had to break them down. But Chelsea's momentum just gets killed all the time because of certain people going backwards. And do you know, honestly, I think a massive part of this is confidence. So much of it is confidence. Forwards not necessarily hitting the target, not scoring goals when they should be. Both wing backs today, confidence. They were lacking a little bit. We've got confidence in our defence, but we still need confidence to score goals.
I don't know where we
around
that confidence, because we've seen players get goals and then disappear. We've seen players still go on runs. I don't really know what changes because we just aren't clinical as a team.
Yeah, you know, if it was that easy to fix, we'd have done it already. Do you know what I mean? But Tuchel can keep saying, "Oh, it's the last 20 yards, the last 20 meters, 30 meters, whatever everyone wants to say," and I get it completely. But we've heard this now for the last month, pretty much. Oh, it's the last 30 meters. It's the last 30 meters. It's the last 30 meters. I think this game today was crying out for Timo Werner, personally. Honestly, baffled to see at half time when Hakim Ziyech came out again. So I looked at it and thought, well, Timo Werner is going to get half a game of football here. He could have a field day. You know, there was space in this game. Chelsea just never exploited it. And when he did come on, they were like, okay, great, we'll just sit for a point now. Thanks for that. Cheers. You know, we can get if we can get a winner on the counter attack, then we will. But yeah, I just look at everything and just think it's confidence, confidence, confidence. And that will come with time. I'm not going to lie, it will come with time. But it's how much time are you willing to give it? How much time are you willing to give it? And with obviously Ben Chilwell, he needs confidence, of course. He's going to get until at least next season. He's not going to move on anywhere. But Pulisic, for example, obviously there's been a lot of talk about him potentially leaving and moving on and whatever in the last few weeks, especially in the last week or so, is, you know, have we got the confidence in him that he's going to put it out of the bag? Not necessarily. I'd love to. I want him to, obviously. But I haven't got the confidence. Yeah, he'll get over this. He'll sort that out. Same thing with Timo Werner. Have I got the confidence that he's going to sort it out? No. Have I got the confidence that, you know, a few other people? No. And there's a few people in this team that I lack confidence in, personally. And if that's me as a fan, and I don't see these players every single day, what is it doing someone maybe like Ben Chilwell, whose confidence in, I don't know, whoever's making a forward run is going down? There's so many different things to think about. And again, we went back to this. Well, there was a lot of talk at the start when the new manager came, when all the new transfers came in. People just thought it was going to click like that. This ain't FIFA. I know it's a really obvious thing to say. It's not FIFA. People do have to adapt to others. And I think maybe today we were a kind of a victim of our own wannabe success of changing people up, getting people in, blah, 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 blah. Jobs are good. And I think that's what we suffer with a lot this season, regardless of which manager it's under. Today, we're just suffering it from the same thing. But I do just question the mentality of the team as a whole, not individuals, but of the team as a whole. And I think, again, if you get someone playing on complete form, free-flowing football, nice and la-di-da, we'll be a great team. We will be a great team. It's just how long are you willing to give that? And how long are the board willing to give that? And how long are the fans willing to give that? Because I think it's 3-4 different answers you could have there. Because I'm patient, someone else isn't patient. I like this, someone else doesn't want that. The boards, there's so many different factors. And I think a lot of people don't really know where we are. And I think, to be fair, going back to last season, early doors, we were all like, oh, fuck it, we're playing a load of youth players. Let's see what happens. Hopefully we're going to do something. And we were all on the same wavelength. Where I think now there's a little bit of miscommunications between probably fans, the board, and different people of where their expectations are. And it's just making life so much more difficult. And certain teams can make you pay for that. Certain teams can make you pay for it.
All right, cool. Well, final thoughts. What's your thoughts of the Atletico game?
I think if we play like that, we get fucked. That's my honest thought. You know, that's it. We need to score. But, I mean, it's a very tight one. We beat them 1-0 away, and everyone said it was a great result, and we didn't play their first 11. And a few people were out with the C word. They then come back in. João Felix, 2 fucking sessions there or something stupid like that before coming back in. I don't think he's going to be the same player 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, whenever it was. on Tuesday. Is it Tuesday or Wednesday? It's Tuesday, isn't it?
Wednesday.
Is it Wednesday? Oh, lovely.
Yeah, it's on Wednesday.
Yeah, whatever day it is, he's not going to be the same player, that night. So, yeah, I'm a bit, I'm nervous. I can't lie, I'm nervous. But I've been the same from right away from before. Even when we won that first leg, I've always been the same. We need to play a hell of a lot better to beat them in the second leg because we forget any goal they score counts twice. We could potentially concede one. All the hard work we did away out the window. So let's just go into it. Can't go too defensive. Got to go with the same game plan for me. But we need the best people and we need the experienced people in as well. And of course, Jorginho being one of the more experienced ones, him being out is going to be a big miss. But we have to have experience in there and people that have been there and done it before. So as much as I love the AC Hive at the moment, if he is fit, get Thiago Silva back in because at least you know what he's doing.
Oh, yeah, of course. Get Thiago Silva in and put Christensen right next to him. Damn right. Thank you for getting on, Craigo. Much appreciated. Everyone check out Craigo28 Football, Craigo28 Sports as well. Take care, bro. You have a good weekend.
See you later.
Bless, mum. Again, guys, if you want to get involved, Patreon is down in the description below, guys. Check it out. We're going to get our next guest on. Yes, Zion. What are you saying, mum?
How you doing, Lewis?
I'm good, bro. What are you telling me?
Nothing really. I don't know what to say. What the game? Like I think going into this game in the morning, I wasn't eager to for this game because I know how Leeds play. I know how Leeds operate under Bielsa. They're a high pressing team. They leave open gaps in the middle. Their defense is very shaky, and they concede goals. Simple as. But we saw that at the start of the game. Did you see the press? Did you see how we were so pushed back towards our goalkeeper? All the high line, everything that we've been playing under Everton, all teams like that. Nah, not against Leeds. You ain't going to do that. That's like a Man City kind of attack, that they press you, that they continually press you. They're just a different animal. Like I said, I wasn't confident going into this game. I was saying, we might win 1-0 or something like that, or it might be a draw. Because scoring goals against them is easy because they have gaps that we can exploit. But when it comes to keeping the ball for a long time, passing it around, 1-2 passes and all that kind of stuff, you ain't going to get that. Because this team operates at a high level. They will come at you. They're like basically, like in the NFL, you have a defense, you have like that 4-man rush that comes at the quarterback. That's how Leeds are. They come at you. They don't care who's in the way. They will come at you. You saw that in the early parts of the game, that they came after Christensen, came out of Aspilicueta, Rudiger, Chilwell, Pulisic. But it's just the way it is. I mean, I think Tuchel got the lineup wrong a bit today. Why are you playing Pulisic at right wing back? I know you played him. He's played at right wing back at Dortmund in his time, but that was in Dortmund. That was in Germany. This is the Premier League. This is a high-intensity game against a team that will come at you. Why are you doing that? Why are you risking it? I'd say you should just stick Reece James there, or even Callum Hudson-Odoi. And again, final third, what am I saying? Not clinical enough, are we? Taking chances, but
as always,
where are the goals? If we're not, how are we going to get top 4 if we can't finish off chances? If we can't score goals, we're not going to rely on just 0-0s now to the end of the season, are we? We're going to have to score goals. And this is what I said earlier as well to you, in the last previous phone-ins. We need to get Haaland in. We need to get a clinical number 9 that can score goals. Because since Drogba, since Costa, we haven't had anyone. We haven't really had a proper number 9 that can score goals, that can, take an impact. And when the game was at the 82nd minute and stuff like that, I said, you know what? Imagine if we had Hazard coming off the bench now, that little spark just to get us going. We don't have that. I'm sorry, as much talent we've got on the bench, as people say, Chelsea have got a stacked squad, they've got, all the depth and everything. What's the point if they don't gel together? What is the point? You can have basically Messi, Ronaldo, Neymar as the front 3, but if they don't gel together, what's the point of having them? So it is so frustrating to see that, in the second half, we played better because Leeds weren't that they were pressing, but they weren't going full on like in the first half. And they were there for the taking in the second half, in my opinion. There were some chances that we should have finished off. Havertz, I mean, don't get me wrong, I loved how he started today, but in my opinion, you needed like a Giroud in this kind of game, a physical kind of centre forward that can hold up the play, hold up the ball, because really Haaland, Havertz wasn't really. He was doing the little, kind of tricks and stuff like that, getting past, defenders, all that kind of stuff. But he wasn't keeping the ball. He wasn't, when he had chances and stuff like that, like, when crosses were coming in, he was coming towards them, but he wasn't, right there. That's why we need like a Giroud that can keep, and hold up, bully defenders and stuff like that. Because I think in this type of game, we need a Giroud because we know what the opposition is. They're a physical side. They're not a team that can just get brushed away quickly like an Everton. They're a physical team. And, you know what? We got what we deserved, in my opinion. I don't think we deserved a win. I just don't think we did. Simple
No, the
as.
performance didn't deserve it. Like 0-0 is probably the best for both teams.
Yeah.
Both had chances. Both didn't really take them. I feel like more for us, we were wasteful than Leeds were. With Leeds' chances, it was just Mendy.
I mean, to be honest with you, I think, there you go on my next point, Mendy. I think if it weren't for him, I mean, if you saw that first attempt, I mean, I think the disallowed goal, I think there's no doubt about that. That's disallowed because that's offside for Bamford. But did you see that second kind of attempt, which nearly went in, and then Mendy had to get a fingertip save to that and hit the bar and then go out. If that was Kepa, we would have been fucked. I'm telling you, we would have been destroyed. He would have conceded today about 3 goals easily. Leeds would have finished us off in the first half. And, Mendy doesn't get the praise that he deserves from most Chelsea fans because they think he's an average keeper. He just come from Rennes, French league, not one of the best keepers in the world. Can't be. And I agree. He won't be a world-class keeper. I just don't think he will be. But he's a damn good goalkeeper. You can't really say that he commands his box. If you see his height, I think, even like the likes of Steve McManaman said in the commentary, luckily the goalkeeper's 6'3" plus. He's a tall keeper. And, this is where Kepa obviously is let down because of his height and obviously the way he's been, he's low and confident. But like I said, I think obviously Mendy, in my opinion, was our man of the match because I think if he weren't in goal, we wouldn't have won that game. Drew that game or let alone even win. So fair play to him. He deserves all the praise that's coming towards him because he deserves it. He's been the most, in my opinion, the most consistent signing of this season, in my opinion.
Him or Thiago Silva for me.
Yeah, Thiago Silva has been, he came in as well. But obviously, Silva's been picking up injuries and stuff like that. But I'm saying, like, in goal-wise, I think he's been very consistent. You can't really say. He's definitely in the race to winning the Golden Glove, which I think he will, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. And, I mean, like I said, man, it's just... lineup was a bit of a mix-up. Pulisic again starting. I mean, to be honest with you, I've had enough of Ziyech now, to be honest. I've actually had enough of this guy. This guy, all the hype around this guy was just bogus, in my opinion, just because he scored that wonderful kind of free kick against Chelsea in the Champions League with Ajax. Because that's what made Chelsea apparently sign this kind of wizard that they say he is and stuff like that. I'm sorry. The guy's 27, turning 28 now, basically. He should be in his prime. And he was the one player out of all the signings that we made, I thought would make an instant impact. That would make this team, like a Hazard-esque, like, drifting, using the left foot, whipping balls in and stuff like that. But to be honest with you, the hype has just been it's just been bad. I mean, like I said, I'm still going to give him at least a season to get his, game going and stuff like that. I know he's come from the Dutch league and stuff like that, and that league isn't really like what is supposed to be compared to the Premier League. So I'll give him time for that. But I'm sorry, I think he's not just. I think he's not a Tuchel player. He doesn't fit in Tuchel's system. Let's be honest with you. I think you can't put him as a right winger. I don't think he's a winger. I think he's like a number 10 / kind of right-sided player. He likes to drift in the box. He likes to create chances in the middle of the park and stuff like that. He's like basically a Havertz kind of player, who likes to play in the number 10 kind of free roam that attacking area. He doesn't do that at Chelsea right now for me, as if you play him as a right winger. Because all you're asking from him to do now is just whip crosses. And that's it. I don't see anything. He doesn't take on a man. He doesn't, attempt to have shots, His balls, the only things that he does, he tries to whip like one or two of good balls in. But then at the end of it, again, we're not clinical enough like to get, towards those, towards that ball and put it in the back of the net. So all the hype around Ziyech is kind of bad. But you know what? I'm going to give him a season at least to see how he does. A proper season. And but like I said, to be honest with you, I don't think he's a Tuchel player. I don't think he fits in Tuchel's system. Along with, I don't think Pulisic will fit in Tuchel's system, because I think Pulisic, as much as he's played under Tuchel and Tuchel gave him that his first debut for Dortmund and stuff like that's in the past. Tuchel's got Havertz, Tuchel's got Hudson-Odoi, Tuchel's got all these players Mount to work with. He's not going to waste his time working on Pulisic and Ziyech to just adapt. Because, to be honest, I said to you as well a couple of days back, we're in the business end of the season now. We can't be messing around here. This top four race, in my opinion, is a must. Forget Europe, forget Atletico Madrid. I don't care if we beat them or lose to them. I want top four. I want to, finish in the Champions League spot. I want to finish in second place where United are right now. Because today we had a chance to go 1 point behind them. But what do? Again, when we have an opportunity to do that, we always let it slip. Not surprised. And like I said, all these rumors about Pulisic leaving, Ziyech leaving. To be honest with you, some people are saying, because of the media and because of the fans, people are saying you got to start Pulisic. That's the reason why he started. Tuchel started him. I don't think that's the case. I think he's just, to be honest with you, Pulisic, he's had a quality conversation with Pulisic, and Pulisic has said, you know what, I'm fit, I can play. You got to give me a chance. Today was your chance. What did you do? Besides that first half, 10, 15 minutes of that kind of little dribbling past the defender, getting balls into Havertz and stuff like that in the box. What else did he do though, really? Did he really impact the game? No. Was he the main guy that we depended on to finish this game off, or to give us that bit of magic? No. Same with Ziyech. Ziyech is just walking around the pitch really when he doesn't have the ball. Like his reactions when when the keeper when the defender hit the he went off him and he hit the bar and they went straight into the keeper's hand. You saw Ziyech's reaction. He's like, oh my god, and that's the type of that's what it is. You're reacting to something that would have been a goal, but it's not. But then you don't really, you don't do that yourself. You don't stand there and just react. Tell the team, you know what? Okay, that missed. We got to keep it going. He's not that type of player for me. I just don't think, he needs to, he will play under, he doesn't need to play under Tuchel in my opinion, because he's not a Tuchel type of player. Like I said, he just doesn't fit the system in my opinion. He's not a winger. He's a number 10, I think, in my opinion, like kind of, right-sided number 10 that can, use his left foot to whip balls and stuff like that. Saw him in Dutch league. Do you see the assists he made? He was like their top assister in the Dutch league. He was dominating. He was like the assist king. But he's come to the Premier League and now found out he's not a Riyad Mahrez. Stop comparing him to Riyad Mahrez. He's not him. Riyad Mahrez, I know he doesn't have a consistent run of good games, but Mahrez he's adapted to the Premier League well because he was at Leicester. He's already, upped his game. Mahrez is way ahead of Ziyech right now if you think about the pecking order. And he's younger. So I don't understand why people are comparing him to Mahrez just because he likes to use his left foot and he's also dribble. That doesn't make any sense to me. And like I said, man, it's just it's a bad one to take. But on the upside, I'd rather take a point right now against Leeds than a loss. Because really, this fourth spot, I don't think it's going to really affect us now with this draw. Because West Ham have got to play United. And I don't expect I expect United to beat them, but knowing West Ham, they might still come out with a win. But even with a win, they're not really going to overtake us. So I'm not too worried about top four right now. But like I said, the next couple of games in the Premier League coming up, we've got to bounce back. We've got to get maximum points, because if you see the games that we still got coming up, Leicester, Arsenal, We got City. I think we still got City. I think we have at the Etihad. We got all these kind of teams still coming up. Villa. We're not gonna if we go into those games not winning the last couple of games that we've just had, which were easy. I'm sorry, we're not going to get top 4, and then all this transfer rumors about Haaland and all that kind of stuff, that all goes away as well, because we're not going to get Champions League football. Simple as. So we need to finish our dinner. We basically have got everything, but we need to finish our dinner now and get top 4. Simple as.
I hear that, bro. Well, Zion, thank you for jumping on. I do
No
appreciate
problem,
it, man. You take care of yourself.
You too,
Have a
bro.
good night. Bless,
See you
bro.
later.
Bless. Yes, Nippon, what are you saying, my guy?
Honestly, I'll take a draw at this point. It was the most it was deserved in my opinion.
Give me 1 second. Speak now.
It was a deserved draw in my opinion. Both teams were wasteful in terms of chances created. We didn't finish ours. Leeds didn't finish theirs. It was an evenly matched game.
Exactly that. It was an evenly matched game, but we can take some positives in the way Mendy and the rest of the defense played.
Yep. That's one more person to add to the penitentiary.
Damn right, bro. AC Penitentiary is still going strong.
Yep. Now, That's
what I reckoned.
Oh God, shut up, Siri.
Go on.
Yeah, Siri was trying to finish my words for me. But yeah, now our job is to keep Suarez and Felix in the penitentiary and make sure they don't escape.
I hear that, man. They've already been locked up, but I don't think we'll be dealing with any escapees. Hopefully not.
Hope not. Yeah. So we have to be winning these type of games to make top 4. But I wouldn't worry about that too much because West Ham, I mean, I wouldn't be worried about West Ham winning because they'll be on 51 points if they win. But I think we'll still be above them on goal difference. So they're going to have to score 9 goals. They're going to have to do a Southampton on Man United in order to go ahead of us. And I don't see that happening.
All right. Well, yeah, I hear that as well. But what do you think about the way we played in the final third?
We should have started either Timo Werner or Olivier Giroud. And I understand why Olivier wasn't starting. Now, if he doesn't start against Atletico Madrid, I'm going to be baffled because that's the only reason why I see both Werner and Giroud start off the bench. That's the only reason I can think that they didn't start.
Yeah. And do you agree with the decision or not?
In my opinion, Werner should have started. This wasn't the game for Kai Havertz to play in a false 9.
Really? I thought it was all right. It was just a finish.
Yeah, that's what I mean. This would have been the perfect game for Timo Werner. Like there was so much space that the Leeds defense gave us. Werner would have exploited that space. And I feel the chances Kai didn't finish, I think Werner actually would have finished them. If that was Werner or Giroud, that would have been at the back of the net, in my opinion.
Maybe, but like with Werner, it's debatable.
Yeah, but still, if okay, let me rephrase that. If it was a striker, they would have buried that chance.
Yeah, but we're lacking players that will bury chances anyway.
Yeah, but I feel if we would have been better off with a striker on the pitch. And as for Ziyech, I don't think I can. He was okay, in my opinion. He was
He had moments. Ziyech had moments, but they all had moments. That's the thing. I feel like with Ziyech, it's still the case of they wanted to see more from him.
Look, I'm giving Ziyech until next summer before I tap out of him. I still haven't tapped out on any of our new signings yet.
No, I haven't tapped out on any of them just yet.
Yeah, but if I had to put my money on who the most success would be, I would probably say Kai Havertz.
Yeah, Kai Havertz was our best going forward. I think Mount as well to an extent because we didn't look that fluid when he came off. The only positive was that Hudson-Odoi was on the pitch. He looked very solid in the final third, but I feel like in the midfield, especially on the left-hand side of the pitch, we did struggle.
I just feel, Jorginho, I just feel that Tuchel was resting a lot of key players for Wednesday's game. Now,
yeah, it's the same thing as the Southampton game. We drew that game as well, and we made a lot of rotations.
Now we have to win that Atletico game. If we drew this game in order to concentrate on that Atletico game, we have to win it. We have to either take a draw or a win. We cannot let them score.
Exactly that. But are you confident going into that game?
I'm on the fence. I mean, if we play the way we did today, no. If we play the way we played against Everton, then yeah. Depends which Chelsea turn up, really.
Okay. Well, any final thoughts, bro?
What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on the Atletico?
Just excited. Whoever scores first wins this one for me.
I'm gonna go with a 1-1.
All right, cool. 1-1 still takes us through, so I'll be happy with that.
1-1. Then we go through 2-1 on aggregate.
All right, cool. Well, Nippon, thank you for jumping on, bro. You take care of yourself.
Yeah, my channel is in the private chat, by the way.
Yeah, one sec. I'll get that.
And you can also follow me on Twitter. If you ever want to collab with me, just DM me on there.
Yeah, there's Nippon's socials. Bro, Nippon, thank you for jumping on, man. Much appreciated.
See you soon, man.
Take care of yourself. Bless. If you guys want to get involved as well, join the link down in the description below to get involved in the Patreon. And yeah, we'll get our next guest on. Tyrese, what are you saying, man?
Yo, bro, what's up?
I'm good. What are you telling me?
I guess you should know I had to get up at 8:30 in the morning and to have a game sending me to sleep. It was better for my health than what I thought it ought to be, because that sent me to sleep, man. I'm not really a fan that gets so reactionary and angry or anything like that. That's to be honest, it's a really, really poor performance, because realistically we're about 3 points square West Ham. Realistically, if we use our head, they're not going to beat Man United. They're not going to beat Man United. Let's put that there. They could beat them, but they're not going to do it. Especially at Old Trafford. We played very poorly. Well, not very poor. Yes, very poorly. Yeah, very poorly. We didn't play well. But like I was watching your stream earlier, yeah, and a lot of the guys were scapegoating Mount. They were scapegoating this and that. Like, and these guys were like getting really angry for like just a draw. Like, you're like, bro, you can't win every game. You can't win every game in football. Regardless if you're a Premier League champion, if you're a Champions League, well, not champions. If you're a Premier League champion, you don't win every game unless you're Arsenal in 2004. You don't win every game. You don't go unbeaten. You don't you can't win every game. But the thing is, yeah, I don't even think that he was one of our worst players. He was okay. He he wasn't as influential as he was against Everton. I just think he had a quiet game, but realistically, I think this is what happens with players. Like the English media like hypes up these guys and like put these guys on this certain pedestal, and then when they don't perform to that expectation, they just tend to like get rational and very disrespectful. Like realistically, bro, Mason Mount is a fantastic player, and I do think that his decision making has to improve. But what 22-year-old player besides, well, 22-year-old English player besides Wayne Rooney or a player like that had like amazing football intelligence and had the IQ already of a world class player. I think Mount has the ability to be a world class player, and he possesses some attributes that are going to be world class. But I don't think his decision making is world class as yet, and that was something he has to improve on. But realistically, I don't think it was that bad. Um, other person was Ziyech. I think Ziyech wasn't good at all. He wasn't influential in the game. He put a couple of good passes, but I think I have to agree with Zion that was on before. He did say that he doesn't think that Ziyech fits Tuchel's system. I think I agree with that because he can dribble, he can shoot on a good day, he can pass, he can cross, but his problem is just that he's too much of a one trick pony. Also, he doesn't really have like the pace or like the vicious the intent to like a Aiden Hazard, and like that's gonna bring me to my next point. Like when I watched this today, that like just made me realize how much I miss Aiden Hazard in a game like this. Like he's just a guy that would take the ball from the halfway line and just dribble through the entire Leeds defense and then just get us 1-0. That's why I miss with the end product. And realistically, Pulisic today, like he got his first chance on the 2 point. He just wasn't even impressive. He just didn't look like the Pulisic that we've been seeing. He just looked lazy. But apart from that, we defended well as we always do. Big at the Danish Malini again. That guy's a brick again. As for the Quetta, he had a good game as well. Rudiger had a fantastic game, and I didn't even know he was so quick, man. Like Rudiger's quick, bro. That guy's quick. Like I think we as Chelsea fans just need to stay more positive, bro. Like we just came off from beating Everton. We made and this is not Everton against Everton with this is not Everton with Marco Silva or Everton with David Moyes. This is Everton with Carlo Ancelotti, one of the greatest managers of all time.
Mm-hmm.
We made Everton look like they're not a good team, and Everton is a good team. We made Everton look so soft, bro. And same thing for Liverpool. Yeah, Liverpool is in turmoil right now, but we still went over there at Anfield and put in a fantastic performance, getting that 1-0 win. But the problem is we do need Haaland, bro. We need Haaland. We need Haaland, bro. Like these chances, like they're just not good enough, man. Like we need to be more clinical with our chances. We gotta finish them. We have to finish them. Like goals win you games. It doesn't matter like if it's 3, 4. If it's 1 or 2, they can win you games, but you gotta be able to score, man. And I know like a lot of fans wouldn't like to hear this because of our fierce rivalry, but if we don't get Erling Haaland, I wouldn't mind taking a Harry Kane. I don't know about you. I don't think it will happen because
I mean, taking a Harry Kane, like it's easier said than done, isn't it?
Yeah, like, they're gonna probably want a lot of money for Harry Kane. They will want a lot of money for Harry Kane, and if we don't get Haaland, I would take him any day because he's a fantastic player. We just need somebody that's clinical in front of goal and to me could hold up the ball and would just bag in and just finish a lot of chances. With Havertz today, I think that chance, like I think it was a half and half. I don't know if he should have scored it. I don't know about you, because the keeper still got on and saved it. So he still no, the keeper tipped it over the bar. I think it could have been a better finish, but realistically, that's the thing. We need to start relying on like these young players like Kai Havertz and Mason Mount to be getting us these goals. We need to. Well, then again, Erling Haaland is a young player too, but we just need somebody that's clinical in front of goal, man. Like Timo Werner, as much as I love him, his movement, his acceleration, everything I love about him, that finishing product just isn't there. And I thought that today would have been a good game to play him because I thought Leeds was going to go with the high line, but Leeds played defensive today. They sat back a bit, and they were less open. I don't know if you realize that they were more compact today than how they were throughout the season. I don't know if you realize that.
I did notice it now you said, because that's half the reason why we struggled to create anything in the final third too. Defensively, they were a lot more solid because they know that we'll just pass them to death and then catch them when they're sleeping. So
And
let off for us for the most part.
yeah, that's why I thought that we were going to go and play Timo Werner, because I thought they were going to play the high line, and then Werner would just probably bag for 3 goals or something crazy like that. But bro, we got to be able to finish our chances, man. And we're going into Atletico, and Atletico is gonna run at us like dogs. They're gonna run at us like dogs. We have to defend so well against Atletico. I'm actually a bit more frightened going into the game of a 1-0 lead than anything, because they have so much players that can hurt us. But the way we are defending right now, I don't really see us conceding anything anytime soon, to be honest. Like, we defend so well. That's the one thing we must give it. And we need to big up this guy, Anthony Barry, our defensive coach. That guy is, I don't know, man. That guy is just working miracles, bro. And if you think of it, Lewis, we didn't have a preseason. He really only worked with the players one-on-one in training sessions. And look how it's like brought back a proper defense that Chelsea hasn't had probably since JT and Cahill days in the 16-17 season. He actually stabilized our defense again, and we had a proper defense that could defend. That we've always had good defenders over the year. I know we could defend so well. The Danish Maldini again, by the way. All 3 of those, that back 3 to me is going to give like Tuchel selection. I don't know if we're going to put Thiago Silva back in, but this is bad to say, and I'm not saying that I'm happy because he's injured. I'm just saying that like maybe now since Thiago Silva is injured a bit now, that could give your boy some more play time. So all the play time could contribute to the ACI, right?
After the international break at the longest.
Yeah, probably. But yeah, bro, like I don't think the performance today was great. We didn't play well. We created some chances, and it was just one of those days, man. Just one of those games that you didn't win, you didn't lose. It felt like you dropped points for real because the Leeds didn't really do that much either. But then again, Mendy had to make some good saves, so fair enough, fair play to them. We defended well, bro. That's one thing we have to improve on. The final third, man, it's just shocking. And the way we're playing right now, we're gonna make top 4. You have to win 10 games to make top 4, but like look at it, bro. We have an easy run of games coming up. I think we have West Brom next. Then we have Brighton and someone else in there. Those are some winnable games, and then you have some harder ones like Leicester and all those other ones that are coming up. But yeah, we just need to be better with we just need to finish our food, man. That's our biggest problem. It's all said and done. It's all happy and good to see like good defending every game. But you can't expect to just have good defending every game and then don't score any goals. Like clean sheet doesn't win you Clean sheets does win you games, but goals win you games. But that's what frustrated me today. We need a clinical number 9, and that's why like I can see now where we're linked with Haaland, and that's why Abramovich wants him. We need a clinical number 9. Apart from that, yeah, good to defend well and just like try and calm down those guys on your stream at some times, man. Those guys get a bit carried away, man. Like it's just one game. I know we dropped points and we're in our top 4 race, but we're safe, man. We're 3 points ahead of West Ham. And for right now, we have easy running games coming up because I'm here looking at the fixtures and the games that we have to play. After Atletico in the Prem, we have West Brom, then we have Palace, Brighton, West Ham, Fulham. Those are easy running games. All of those fixtures I just called for you are winnable games. So we're just going back to that other stage. You know, we're out of the harder games. We got everything out of the way. We got Liverpool out of the way. So now with these easier games we could play, and then when it comes to the end of the season, we just need to be more. You just need to win, get as much points as we need. But moving into the Atletico game, as I said, we gotta defend well. We just gotta defend well. I wouldn't mind. I actually the result that we had today, I wouldn't mind that against Atletico Madrid, a 0-0 draw. That's a good at home. Just stink out the place and just go through, because Atletico is just gonna come at us. Unless you want to further extend lead, you could go and do that. But realistically, Tuchel is not going to do that because he's not a negative manager. Negative. He's not a negative manager. That's something Mourinho will do. Managers like that is going to want more goals. Like, he's not going to want to park the bus at home and just call it a day. He's probably going to want more fight from the team. But yeah, their performance should be better. Can't win every game. Drew today, got 1 point. It was deserved. Leeds was the better team, to be honest, in the final third. But yeah, we got to improve our finishing, man. But today, just frustrating, man. To get up at 8:30 in the morning, bro. I don't know what you.
Trust me, you and me both. Well, not 8:30, though. It feels like 8:30.
Yeah, bro. But yeah, solid performance.
Go on. Yeah, thanks for jumping on anyway, man. Much appreciated.
Yeah, bro.
Take care, bro. Bless. All right, we'll get our next guest on. Ellie, what are you saying, man?
For fuck's sake, Lewis. I woke up 6 a.m. for this.
Everyone's talking about how early they woke up for this shit.
First of all, how are you? You good?
Tired, but yeah,
same.
I'm good. I'm good.
Same. I want to talk about Pulisic. Let's start. I really rate Pulisic. When he plays at his best, we saw last season after COVID what he did. He's a very good player. But I don't want to see him start the game until he figures his shit out. Like, we don't know if he's gonna stay at Chelsea next season or he's gonna leave. I want to know, and I don't want to see him playing. Oh, he's scared to get injured, stuff like that. Like, I want him at his best, and then I'm happy to start him. You know what I mean? Like, for Tuchel to start him. The second of all, I saw in the comments, if not Haaland, who I have 3 names: Andre Silva, Lukaku, or Depay.
Depay?
So, yeah, Memphis. Look, he's been incredible at Lyon.
Okay.
But Andre,
pick out the 3.
if I have to pick up, probably Andre Silva. Because, look, I know Lukaku is probably a better striker, but Lukaku and Depay, although they're doing well, they've a bit flopped in the Premier League at United. So, well, you can tell me, well, they do have Premier League experience and Andre Silva don't, but I'm interested more in Andre Silva. But look, Haaland is number 1 for me. Second of all, Mendy was incredible. Absolutely. Like, I was one of the people thinking about Donnarumma, but today Mendy was very, very good. Another clean sheet. 14 clean sheets this season? That's incredible. How much?
Yeah, I think in all competitions it might even be higher than that.
That's incredible. Like, how many clean sheets did we keep in 2004 or 5 when we won the league?
9 goals conceded from open play, 11 in all competitions. 27 clean sheets, I think.
Like 15 this season is very good. So, like I always tell you, Lewis, we are very close. We just need this world-class striker. And our defense, maybe just buy a center back. Maybe, I don't know, Varane or Alaba for free if you can get him. But look, it is very disappointing today. We should have won the game, but look, I'll take a point rather than 0.
I hear that, because at the very least, in the long term, it is not 3 points dropped. It is only 2, even though it still feels like it kind of is 3.
And not only that, Man United and West Ham will play each other. So one of these two, hopefully both, will drop points. Like, I'll be happy with a draw. But we have to beat Palace. Our next game is Palace, West Brom. Like, those easy games we have to win.
Yeah.
Because our last 3 games are just difficult. I do think we can win 2 out of 3 in our last 3 games. I think we might draw against Man City, but I think we will beat Leicester, Because
No,
Leicester
Man
were
City, I'm low key confident about, and that's only because, what was it? If they have the title wrapped up by then, they won't go in with nearly the same amount of intensity as we would.
Yes, that's true. And you know, for me, I'm not worried about Chelsea losing anymore. Because look at this incredible defense. What, 5 clean sheets in a row? Incredible defense. I'm just worried about if we can score that goal. Because we rely on Jorginho's penalties a lot. We rely on corners a lot. We have to Timo Werner has to get his goals. Like, we move, upwards and onwards.
I hear that, bro. Ellie, what's your thoughts going into Atletico game then? Who do you want to see start?
Okay, Mendy in goal. Thiago Silva. I would start Thiago Silva just for his experience in the back. Maybe Christensen just out for the Atleti game. Put him back in the Premier League on the weekend. Aspi, Rudiger. Midfield, well, Jorginho and Mount are suspended. So Kante, Kovacic, Hudson-Odoi, Marcus Alonso, and front three of Giroud, Werner, and Havertz.
Okay, Giroud, Havertz, and who? Mount? No, not Mount. Cho.
Werner. No, Hudson-Odoi starts at right wing back.
Here's the thing. That's a tasty one. I really need someone to finish their dinner on that. Because if we have one player that's clinical, we could go so much further than we're at right now.
Look, but I think we will keep a clean sheet against Atletico. Because Felix is a very good player, but I think he's a player for the future. Not now. The only good player for them at the moment is Luis Suarez, who knows how to score those. So Thiago Silva blocks Luis Suarez, puts him in his pocket. We can keep a clean sheet, and then I'll be so happy with a 0-0. Like I know. Look, I'm kind of fan who I want to win every game, but going into the Atleti game, I just want to go through to the quarterfinals.
All right, cool. Well, Ellie, any other final thoughts, bro?
No, just check out my YouTube channel like always, guys. And
yeah,
I'll
Ellie,
see
the Chelsea fan, right?
No, I changed it because apparently radio couldn't find, like, my professor couldn't find me, so I had to change it. It's now Eli the Analyst. So I don't know.
I like that, bro. Ellie the Analyst. That's decent. Well, guys, check out Ellie the Analyst. The link is down in the description below. Check him out. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And yeah, thank you for jumping on, bro.
See you on Wednesday.
See you on Wednesday, bro. Bless. Oh, I'm excited for this one. Dude, boy, what are you telling me, man? It's been a while.
Yo, you're right, bro. Long time.
Yeah, I'm good. A rough week, but we're here. A rough 90 minutes as well.
Yeah, I don't know what to make of that, man. You just expect it, don't you, from Chelsea? You can beat big teams like Atletico, Liverpool, Spurs, and then when it comes to Leeds, we can't even break them down. So yeah, there's a lot to pick out on that game, actually, if you think about different players and stuff. I think one thing I'll mention, though, I think people are being a bit too harsh on Chilwell, something I've noticed after the game on Twitter. I've never been his biggest fan, but I wouldn't blame him entirely for that result. And it just feels like we've lost, even though we haven't. I don't know, it's a difficult one.
Yeah, it feels like a loss, but it's like, I always look at these 0-0 draws like, okay, cool, it depends on the next few games after. Like the United game, I was like, cool, let's see the next few games after and we'll see if this 0-0 draw is a bad result or not. This is kind of the same thing, but this game was a lot more winnable. Yeah,
it's true. And especially if you look at the first, 10, 15 minutes, so many chances. We could have easily been 2-0 down or 2-0 up within the first 20. And yeah, I guess the game just got duller and duller as it went on. But I will say I wasn't really impressed with the substitutes when they came on. Didn't think they had the impact that they needed to have. I mean, Werner, I don't think he hardly touched the ball when he came on for the last 20. Odoi, again, it wasn't enough time to make an impact, you could argue, but I don't think they had the desired effect, really, that they should have. And again, it might be biased, but I think Giroud should have come on. I just think when you need a goal late on, and you've got a man who's got, I think, the second most goals from the bench in Premier League history, and you know how clinical he's been this season, I think it goes under the radar. I just think it was a bit of a strange decision, but there we are.
Yeah, like Giroud would have been really good for this game, especially as a Havertz replacement, or you incorporate Havertz a little bit deeper, because we were playing with the false nine and it did work. It's just the final end product wasn't there, and Giroud's such a perfect plan B; it would have worked to perfection.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think Havertz and Giroud can coexist in the same lineup again because Havertz is quite versatile. He can play on that right.
Mm.
I just think I think Giroud's minutes per goal this season has been 97. He's got 97 minutes per goal, and he's only played 1,000 minutes. I think it's quite criminal, considering how often he comes up with that big goal, and considering Tuchel actually came out after Southampton, and he said that he should have brought Giroud on, and then he didn't bring him on again when he has an opportunity to. I was quite surprised, but again, like Havertz, you can't really discredit Havertz. I thought he's going to grow into that role, and he probably will be that future number 9 at this rate if he continues to put his foot down. But I don't know. I think in games like these, it's just made for Giroud, and considering he scored against them at home, I thought it was a no-brainer. But
Yeah, Giroud should have came on, but at the very least, because we know the thing with Giroud, I don't really like starting him in 2 games a week because the guy is 34 years of age, and you do have to manage him well as a result of that. At the very least, this means he'll probably start the game against Atletico Madrid.
yeah, I'd hope so. I mean, Giroud in Europe for us has been incredible. And like his stats, I keep looking at them. They're just unreal. Like he's started 18 games in Europe for Chelsea. He scored 18 goals and 5 assists. He's a big game player, and if he doesn't start Atletico, I mean, you could argue that Atletico will come and attack us, and they'll be more attacking, and it'll open up counter-attacking opportunities. So maybe Giroud might not be as suited to the game, but I don't know. And the thing is, with Giroud, he hasn't started the last 3, but with Giroud that he doesn't need consistent game time to come up with that big goal. I think that's a really underrated aspect of his game is that no matter how long you keep him out, if you bring him in, he has the ability to turn up on the biggest stage.
And that's what I'm looking forward to in the next game as well. What lineup would you like to see for that match then? And Giroud, and who do you want to incorporate around him?
In terms of the defence, I think because Thiago Silva is clearly not going to be ready, I'd keep the same centre backs. At right wing back, I'd put Adoy. I think Reece. You could argue Reece with his physicality, etc. But I think Adoy's. I just think he'll add that bit extra on that right hand side when we're going forwards. I'd go Alonso. I just think his aerial presence and ability to get that goal. I'm not sure Chilwell is suited to left wing back as much as we'd hope him to be, but obviously Mount and Jorginho are out, so Kante, Kovacic, and then I'd go Giroud up front with Havertz on the right, and then a toss-up between Werner and Pulisic on the left, because I think one thing we haven't seen under Tuchel is Giroud and Pulisic link up, and I think those two link up the best out of a lot of our forwards. I mean, you have to look back too long in lockdown. Those two linked up really, really well, and I think Pulisic does really well when he's playing with a target man and a focal point to play off. But I'm surprised you haven't seen that yet under Tuchel. But yeah, that's the team I'd go with.
All right, cool. Well, what were your thoughts on the left wing back situation as well? Because we saw Ben Chilwell's performance today, and it didn't leave us a lot to be desired. And I've had my questions about Alonso in general anyway. But it's like you can't keep defending these performances from Ben Chilwell either. Something has to give at the end of the day.
Yeah, it's frustrating, but at the same time, we were warned of it. I don't know if you remember, a lot of Leicester fans were quite happy to see Chilwell go, and I can see why in some ways, because he's quite inconsistent in big games, and he was like that at Leicester towards the end of his time there. Again, like games against Man City sprung to mind. Obviously, it's Man City, but he seems to be someone who not only can be inconsistent, but his mentality doesn't impress me that much either. I mean, we're talking about games at the end of the season. I know it's probably been made out to be a bigger deal than it is, but like laughing and joking around after City and Arsenal game, I wasn't a big fan of that mentality. And I just think with Alonso, you know what he's going to give you in that system. Yes, some would argue he's off it now as he's getting on, but good finisher, Alonso. He's always there at the right time. He's got the aerial presence. I think for me, if we're playing with wing backs, Alonso edges it for me.
All right, cool. Any other final thoughts, Dubois?
Not really. Just as long as we go through, on Wednesday. I think that's the most important thing. I don't care like who starts as long as we win or draw. I don't mind. Like after all that hype after beating them in the first leg, it would be so bad if we end up going out. So as long as that doesn't happen.
Trust me, man. All right, Dubois, thanks for jumping on, bro. I hope you're here for the Atletico Madrid game as well, because that's going to be an interesting discussion.
Yeah, nice one. Cheers for having me on, mate.
Yeah, take care, man. You take care.
Take care.
Bless. Right, we'll get our next guest on. Dag, what are you telling me, bro?
What's going on?
Not much. Still the same vibes after 0-0, just less shouting. But what's your thoughts?
Man, shout out to Edouard Mendy, Yeah, that's 18 goals conceded, 19 clean sheets, 14 in the league, one behind Ederson. So, one bright star out of this sad team today. But, I mean, I saw the team sheet and I kind of expected it, to be honest. I thought we were going to create more chances having Pulisic on the field along with Havertz and Mason Mount and Ziyech, but they just couldn't. They just couldn't break down Leeds, who normally are a completely open team. And today they did the same amount of pressing. It just seemed like we just weren't able to transition the ball from midfield to the attacking stage well enough. It just didn't seem like anything was working out. I love Conte, but what you said earlier was 100% true. We do get that ball retention with his yeah, man. Thank you. But dude, again, like Conte, we get the ball retention, we get the interceptions, but it's just like we lose that chemistry that we have in the midfield with the Jovetic pivot, right? And today I understand, right? We have Atletico coming up in 3 days. We need to rest all the people we need to rest the people that are going to play in that game, or the important people, So Kovacic is out, Giroud is out, Alonso's out. So already we're losing a bit of our firepower, right? And today I don't think we were going to see Giroud anyway, because I feel like he wanted to give Kai Havertz another 90 minutes. So just in case we do end up having, let's be honest, right? Just in case Atletico come out and start really playing against us and it doesn't look like Giroud is offering us anything, we needed to get Kai some minutes so that we could sub him on in that Atletico game. So, I felt like, and of course we had to rest Werner as well because we're going to need him in that game as well. So for this game, I'm not really that disappointed because, shout out to Leeds. They played a great game. They came out and they, thank God they couldn't finish their chances too. Again, all praises to Mendy because he truly did save us this game. And again, another great game by the center backs, but we just couldn't create chances. Now, of course, we were this whole hating on Mount thing, right? We weren't even hating on Mount, right? We were just trying to get Johnny to understand that Mount was not as good as he normally is today, right? He wasn't as productive because we didn't score any goals or we barely created any chances. But normally he has that, like the through ball that he missed in the second half. Normally he makes that, So it's just today he just wasn't producing as well as he could. And it did not help him at all that Chilwell wasn't doing anything, right? And about all this talk about this person got to go, this person got to go, this person got to go. Let's just keep it calm until the summer. Because we don't know what's going to happen from now until then. We still have a solid 10, 15 games. So let's go ahead and play those out, and then we'll see what happens. Because look at Pulisic last year, right? He wasn't doing that well, and then come after lockdown, he performed perfect, or he performed way above expectation, right? So I feel like as long as we don't lose these next couple games, and as long as we're not conceding, I feel like we're perfectly fine.
Okay. Cool. Oh, is that an echo?
No.
Oh, that probably might just be on my end. You can't hear anything?
No, I don't hear an echo. No.
All right, cool. What were your thoughts then on the left wing back situation? Because I'm asking a lot of people about this. And who would you want us to be our first choice wing back going forward?
First choice wing back has never been a question. It's always been Marcos Alonso. Like, we know what he can do in that wing back position. As long as we have somebody that is in that center back position that can give him the cover, right? I think we're going to be we don't need to be worrying about that position. But again, today we're saving Marcos Alonso for that Atletico game. because just in case we need those counterattacks where he can ping that ball down the line, right? Those like we need him for those situations. And again, we're going to need him for the height in that game as well to work with the crosses. And do you know? Are there any? Has any news come out about whether Kieran Trippier is playing that game?
I think he should be back, but I can't confirm.
Yeah, that's another worry that we have to. That's another thing that we're going to have to worry about. So it's just, again, coming into this game, everyone's confidence level will be a lot more higher had we just gotten the 3 points today. But I don't think it should be that demoralizing that we got a tie against Leeds, who normally score goals, and we stopped them, which is a plus, right? And they even had to. They even subbed out. I think. Wait, Bamford got injured, right? Yeah, but I mean, unfortunately, he got injured. But it just seemed like we were able to neutralize their attack, and low-key, that's the best that we could have hoped for. Keeping this clean sheet run, keeping this defensive form going on, because I feel like that's going to be that's going to be our heart and soul coming into this Atletico game. If we can keep this ball retention that we're doing and keep the possession-based play that we're playing, if we get 60% possession, there's no way Atletico can beat us. They're not going to be able to create enough chances, right? So for this game, the only thing that I would really be worried about is personal mistakes or this Atletico game, because that's the only way I see them beating us is if we give the game to them. And we have a little bit of a buffer, and we'll see how it goes, and we'll just take it on.
Okay. Interesting. Very, very interesting. With that in mind, what's your starting 11 going to be for the Atletico game?
Yeah, to be perfectly honest, I am going to same defense, right? We all know it. Right wing back, it's going to have to be Reece for me because we need this is all defensive solid. Like we just need to completely just set up to sit back. I know he's not going to want to because Tuchel never want Tyrese made a good point. He doesn't really want to do that, but I feel like if we want our best chance for success, I would want Reece James at right wing back, Aspi right center back. To me, it doesn't matter if Thiago Silva is fit and he's ready to go. He can start at center, or AC can start there as well. Rudiger has to start at left center back if we're going to have Alonso. That is not even a question. So I want Rudiger at left center back, Alonso left wing back. And then the pivot, I want it to be Conte and Kovacic so that we can have, again, that ball retention is going to be very important. We need to get interceptions. We need to cut the passing lane. And we need to, I really hope they man mark Suarez because that's gonna be important as well. And then for the attack, I want Giroud to be in there because if we're going to have Reece James at right wing back, I'd prefer to give him the option to cross it in so that opens the game for him. We all know that. If Reece doesn't cross, he's not going to have a pretty good game in the attacking mindset. So I'd rather have him up there, and then right forward, I would prefer it to be Cho because I'd want him to be able to cut in and attack the center backs that they're going to be having. And then I'd want Werner just in case we need to do that because they're going to have to play a high line because they're going to have to score 2 goals, right? So we need to have that one deep threat. So I'd want Werner left forward.
All right, cool. Any final thoughts, Doug?
We just got to keep the spirits high, man. Shout out to everyone on the panel. And, hey, if y'all want the full, no filter right after the live match, viewpoints and all of our reactions, hop on over to Lewis's channel. You'll get everything. When we hop onto this channel, we have an hour or two to calm down. So we give y'all the whole filtered version. But when we hop onto Lewis's channel, man, it's all craziness, man.
Love that, bro. Appreciate it. You take care, man.
All right, man. Y'all have a good one. Up the Chelsea.
Up the Chelsea. Right. Oh, look who just popped up. Yes, Jay. What are you saying?
Hey, mate. It's been a while.
Yeah, it has been a while. What are you telling me, bro?
I'm good, man. I'm really good. I've just come off the back of filming a North London preview, so I'm happy to talk about Chelsea again.
Oh, listen to the Arsenal and Spurs fans go back and forth.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it made me forget about the result a little bit earlier on for maybe a half hour, but we're back to it now.
Love that, man. Well, what was your thoughts on the game anyway?
Such a frustrating one, wasn't it? It was so I don't know. It's really one of those where you kind of like, you're a bit jolty. You're a bit like, come on. Is there going to be a goal? Is there this? Is there that? And at the end of it, you just left disappointed because you never got the full jump, you never got the full come on moment because we just didn't score. And again, 0-0 is it's such a boring, horrible result to get. Like, no matter how the game was played, no matter how many shots or whatever was played, if it ends 0-0, you're left feeling just grim. And today I was left feeling grim. We could have scored more, so they could have scored more. To be fair, they had their own chances that they didn't take. Mendy was incredible, to be fair, as well. Loved his performance today. But overall, just left stale, I guess. Just annoyed.
That's the thing. I'm annoyed mostly for the part that I woke up at 12 for this. Like, that's really early for me. I can't be arsed with it. But same way, like, the way that we played, it was good, but it's the same thing with Chelsea, where the further we go down the field, it's like the worse that we get. And we just missed a lot of key chances in the final third. If we look at some of our big chances at the end of the season, we'll probably sit there and think we could have won the league. That's the way I look at it as.
I haven't even thought about it like that. Like if Werner scored at every opportunity he's had,
maybe not the league, but comfortably second. At the
mate,
league.
Absolutely. If Werner bags all the chances he's had, and not even just like the odd shot chances, the fucking sitters, really. But I didn't even think about it like that, which is sad. But yeah, no, today's result is as annoying as well, because I think for a moment there, I thought anyway, and I think Chelsea fans thought we were comfortable in fourth, but we're absolutely not comfortable in fourth. There's not many games left, but there's still so many teams in for it. So many teams. Like, you've still got Liverpool, Tottenham are still around, but you've also got West Ham, Villa, Everton, Leicester, they're in it at the moment. United, they're going to continue to try and be there. Like, there's so many teams to be competing with, and we should be winning games like this to give ourselves the best chance. So I think I was definitely annoyed about that as well.
Yeah, there's just a lot of annoying stuff, but I don't want to be too reactionary and get at people, because it could be easy to scapegoat Ziyech after this game, or to go after Christian Pulisic, or to say Kai Havertz missed a lot of chances. But that's the thing. It's all of them. All of them aren't vital in the key moments, and that's the problem. We keep wasting these chances as a team, and it's the $1 million question, but how the hell do we change this up? Because we'll always keep missing these key chances.
I don't know, man. Well, this is it. Like, we've played Werner for so long, and that's not working. So it's like, what do we change? Should we play Giroud or Tammy? We've played them, they've scored, but they've dwindled. All right, what do we do next? Let's put Havertz up top. He's played all right, but then that isn't working. What should we do? I guess we got to get Werner back on. It's like what it's the problem Tuchel's come in to fix, really, isn't it? That's what his mission is. It's to figure out this problem that we have. And I don't really know. I think it's confidence, personally. I still think we lack that kind of pure and utter confidence. I think we were starting to gain it, and I don't think today will take away from that. It's still a draw. It's a clean sheet. And like you said, let's not be too reactionary. But I think it's pure just confidence. It's like knowing, it's being on the ball. Because I think you see it with Werner, you might see it with a bit of Havertz as well. Like, they get the ball and they might just take a stab at it because they think, I just got to do this. But if they all had the confidence in their heads, and the mentality was a little bit different, they would be calm. They might take an extra touch. They might place it, because every shot today went right at their keeper. Every single shot from everyone. But if you think about it a little bit more, you might try and place it a little bit better. So I think it's a confidence thing, but it's just about where that confidence is going to come from. But it might come from the Champions League, mate.
Exactly that. It could come from I say that I want to take that back too. You say it could just come back from the Champions League. We literally just had the first leg and we're still not that clinical. And that's the jarring thing. We've had these situations under Tuchel where, like, Werner's scored. And then I thought, yes, we finally broken the duck. And no. And we had the Giroud one was like, okay, we should have so much confidence now coming out of this game. Oh, 1-0 Burnley. Nice. Like that.
Ooh. Yeah, go on, Burnley.
Like I was saying, there's chance like the Atletico Madrid game where that should fill up with so much confidence. We go to United and draw 0-0 and we miss big chance in that game. Liverpool, there was a few chances in there too. You get the point. We're not clinical. And I don't even know if us beating Atletico Madrid is going to get that out of us. I feel like maybe they'll just turn up in the big occasion.
Yeah, you're right. I don't know. It's hopeful, and you know, we they need to use it. I think it might not work that way, but they need to use that because and I think Tuchel should beat that into the players. If you know, if we do get through this next round next week, which is a game I'm terrified for now, but you know, they need to use that as mental confidence. But you know what? You hear the players talk. We've heard Werner talk, and he doesn't seem to be like kind of down. He doesn't seem to be like he's quite self-deprecating, which is like funny in a way, but I don't know. It's such a weird problem that we have. Like at least he sorted out the defense because a while ago we didn't have either part of the pitch sorted. At least we've got that sorted, so we can nick some 1-0s along the way until we do get this sorted. But I don't know what the answer is personally.
Neither do I, man. But hey, any final thoughts?
Well, I guess just looking forward to the Atletico game. I'm terrified for it, but I hope it'll be a good one. I think, you know, Giroud probably will come in for that one. I think, you know, we kind of need someone that knows where the net is. He might not turn up, but we need him there. I think, I don't know if Thiago Silva is going to be fit because he's a bit of a worry, isn't it? So, but I'm happy with the defense, how they're playing. Your boys playing really well. So I think the only big change we need to make is probably having Giroud and Werner playing in that game. Maybe a similar formation to the last one, and then we can probably get through to the past the round of 16, which will make me very happy.
Nice one, Jay. Well, thank you for jumping on, bro. Let everyone know where they can find you.
At the Back Post, everyone. YouTube, Back Post. We talk all things Chelsea. Going to be covering the Atletico Madrid game, so come over there. And thanks for having us on. Subscribe to Blues fans, of course.
Take care, man. Thank you for jumping on, bro. Much appreciated.
In a bit, bro. Take care.
Right, on to our next guest, Prasanna. Light a shave, bro. What are you saying?
Imagine waking up at 6:30 to watch this.
Everyone's saying 6:30, 8:30. It's a fuckery, man. Talk to me.
Yeah, man. I'm like, we kind of got away today. Leeds had the better chances. I think we can agree on that. Mendy, for the first time in like 2 or 3 games, had to do something because for a while he's been like kind of idle because the defense in front of him was superb. I mean, today I think our defense was superb again. Today, Rudiger again. Today was superb, but I think like you probably got to change up the formation at halftime, and probably the subs could have been brought a lot earlier. Thing like bringing on Hudson-Odoi with I think like 10 minutes remaining was kind of was weird because for the time he was there, he was making he had a wonderful impact when he came on. He was having a good touches. He was getting his shots away well, and his ball control was brilliant. I thought like his substitution could have been brought on much earlier, and so the formation change as well. But apart from that, it was disappointing in today. But I'm not gonna go too over the top because we have been. It's not that we lost; it would have been worse if we had lost. But it is worrying because we're not scoring much. So don't want to get too upset about it. But obviously, you want 3 points. But I'm not getting too upset about today because it's like the top four. The top four is getting so tight. But the thing is, you cannot win every single game. If you win every single game, you're brilliant, but it's not going to happen all the time. So, yeah, hopefully we can come back. I think we have Atletico, we have Sheffield in the FA Cup, and then we have an international break. I think that's the schedule. Yeah, man. So that's two big games in two different competitions. So I think I would be happy if we can go past them. I think we should get past Atletico. I mean, we've been keeping clean sheets, so just a clean sheet is enough. Even if we don't score, even if it's a 0-0, we still go through. But I think if we can kind of score early, then Atletico needs to come back. Then Atletico need to come attacking, and eventually the spaces will open up. So getting the early goal is necessary. I think the lineup for that game, probably the one we played Atletico away, would kind of stick to the same lineup, apart from maybe Howard's coming in for Mount, and who started that game? Jorginho Kovacic or Jorginho Kante?
Jorginho against Atletico.
Yeah.
Jorginho Kovacic.
Oh yeah, so then Kovacic Kante, obviously, because Mount and Jorginho are suspended. But apart from that, the fullback Alonso, the centre back pair, the 3 centre backs should be the same, and probably Hudson-Odoi on the right wing, and Kovacic, Kante, Alonso, and then Havertz, Pulisic, Giroud. I think that's what will be the lineup, but let's see.
All right, cool. Any other thoughts, bro?
Like the same thing again. We have to be more clinical. Like we've been saying this for how long? I mean, for how many years actually? Ever since Costa left, that we have to be like more clinical. But I think it'll slowly come one by one. He's fixed the defense. The defense is now kind of sorted. But I think attack wise, we have so many options that we're not keeping a fixed. We're not starting with a fixed front three or midfield. It's keeping on changing. So I think that's 1 minute Havertz is playing, 1 minute Werner is playing, 1 minute Pulisic is playing, then Ziyech, Giroud. I mean, I don't that the centre back pairing. The thing is, they've been set for quite some time. Aspilicueta, Christensen, Rudiger, they have been playing for quite some time now. So that thing that's set, that's where we're not conceding goals, and because they know each other well, and they have good chemistry on the pitch. And attack-wise, I don't think that's the case because we don't have like a set front three. Once we get that set front three for like 3 or 4 games in a row, and then that's when we'll start to attack and score goals more frequently, which I think we should be getting in the next 2 or 3 games because they are big games and different competitions. So, yeah, man, looking forward to that. Not too disappointed, but we still have another clean sheet. So, and I think Burnley are winning. They're 1-0 up, I think.
1-0 Burnley.
And United West Ham. So I think a draw would be a good result for us, but still, looking forward to Atletico. Yeah, man, let's just hope for the best.
All right, well, thanks for jumping on, Prasanna. You take care of yourself.
Yeah, man, thank you.
Bless, man, bless. You have a good night. Well, guys, this is the end of yet another phone in. It's a shame it's not after a W for you guys, but we'll see you guys on Wednesday for Atletico versus Chelsea. If we get the win in that one and go through, I swear down, is going to be the maddest phone in ever. But yeah, guys, smash the like and subscribe button if you guys haven't done so already. Check out Blues Fans TV. Check out Carefree Lewis G as well. That's my personal channel. Big up Zane saying, Abba hat-trick Sunday. You must be mad. Mourinho's going to come round, but I'm also going to plug Spurs prop. I'll take a 0-0 draw and about 3 red cards on both sides. Take care, guys. Smash the like and subscribe button. We'll see you for the next game. And up the Chelsea.